Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kate Daly Show. Glad to be here. And you know what? I am pretty upbeat. I'm feeling really good. And I think because all the fraud, everything's starting to come out. And we knew this was going to happen. Trump just tweeted some big, huge fraud bombs are coming in Nevada. In Arizona, we have such a razor thin margin that it actually meets under the 0.1% threshold, and it's at 0.45%, which means Biden has only a lead of 0.45%. That's going to be a recount. This is why it wasn't one of the 4 states. And then we've got the 4 states that he's going after. And the deal with that is that Pennsylvania, the 2-tiered system where people were regulated more walking in than they were with the mail-in. And I know it's another Christmas miracle, but Biden actually got 1.7 million votes of the 2.6 million. Yeah, then you know that didn't happen, right? Okay, because he's a thug and you know people didn't vote for him. Anyway, not 1.7 million mail-ins, I'll tell you that much. A lot of those come from the military. I'm sorry, that they did not want him as commander-in-chief. Give me a break. So there's lots of fraud. And the Michigan Attorney General went after big league politics for the whistleblowing on the election at the polls. Hey, I know somebody personally in Detroit who witnessed it and actually went to talk to Trump's lawyers. And I'm telling you, it went on. And what is the Michigan Attorney General trying to do? Oh, you know, quiet that puppy up. They don't want that. No. And so, of course, Georgia's going to come to light. So here's the deal. People ask me all the time about, we know that the presidencies are controlled. And so how does that play into why you would like to see Trump stay in? And let me give you kind of the snapshot of that, okay? Because we have enough fraud. By the way, Michigan, 9,500 votes verified already. Social Security index of dead people voting. Yeah, that's a lot of votes. It's a lot of votes. Anyway. People talk about the Trump train all over the nation. I saw a meme that had a bunch of caskets floating, like in Katrina, and it said Biden's boat parade. Anyway. All right. So we have a lot of dead voters. We have a lot of voters over the age of 100 that probably didn't get out to vote. But here's my snapshot, because I know the fraud is going to get exposed. And what happens at that, I don't know, but I actually think Trump's going to stay in office. But here's the deal. On my knowledge of government, after studying it so many hours, of course, they're all controlled. And when people say to me, well, he's controlled by the Rothschilds and Soros. Controlled how? I mean, yes, he went to them for his funding for his hotels, but that doesn't always mean everything. It means that going in, they might have thought they owned him, but maybe he went rogue on a few things. Maybe he gives them a few wins and then goes rogue on some other stuff, and they don't really like that, so they unleash the press on him. Obviously, look at how they're media grabbing Biden's presidency. I mean, they're doing it in a way where they're trying to get everybody in the world to think that Biden's the president right now, and he's not. He's only the projected winner. So they've certainly got the media in their corner. Well, what happens? Well, if Georgia's a runoff and they don't take the Senate, then they've got Biden as president and they've got the House, but they don't have the Senate. Okay. So that will be a problem for them. They're actually going to need their rioting, but they won't have a reason to riot. What are they going to riot over? The rioting can bring a lot of things. Not only can it bring opportunity zones like Catherine Austin Fitts talked about, but it can also bring about, like, let's say, some martial law or some situations in where you've got people, that it might bring us into more Second Amendment, Second Amendment abuse. So there could be some things that elevate the things that we don't want to happen, right? Because of the rioting. There's always an agenda at hand. So there's the taking of property in strategic places where the rioters go. And then, because they can get it pennies on the dollar. And then there's also things that can crop up because of their state of chaos all the time. So here it is. Trump gets in, it's a slow ride. Biden gets in, it's a really swift, quick ride. Because what happens is that Trump can slow it down. The deep state's very busy and very powerful. And if we don't wake up and take these masks off, then what happens is we just give in to all of this nonsense and we keep going deeper in. Right now it's the mask, then it's the vaccine. We all know that's coming because it's out. It's going to be out here in a few weeks. And so we've got the Pfizer vaccine, and they are going full communist train. I mean, it's going down the tracks, and they really want to make us do stuff to our own bodies. Well, they don't have that right. And so with Biden, you have a fast-tracked green New Deal reset, the ending of fossil fuels. You have all of these things. You have just kind of an explosion, because if they do get all three branches of government, then you have the ultimate explosion, fast track train going down the tracks. Trump, though, can wake a few people up, because that's really what has happened since Trump's been in. A lot more people have woken up. And how do I know that? Because I've been on the radio for 9 years. That's how I know that. So I know the amount of the crowd that has woken up to what's going on, and it's been phenomenal. So we have an invested reason to buy some more time to wake more people up to the awful situation that we're in right now, if we can get some more time. And that's really what I wanted to bring to you today was, look, yeah, it's all owned, but people can go rogue. They've been known to do this. I've talked about it on multiple podcasts, and there's a lot of hope right now because you know what? With Gore being president for a month, he basically was our president-elect for a month back in 2000. And you know what? He still didn't get it. And I don't like Bush. I can't stand the Bush family, but Bush was just a travesty to our nation in the way of the Patriot Act and everything else. But you know what, though? With Trump, this is a different presidency. And the people that are condemning him, oh, he wasn't very strong on abortion. He doesn't have anything to do with abortion really as a president. That's Congress's job to fund or unfund Planned Parenthood, and it's the state's jobs to move forward with legislation that would prevent the murder of a baby in a womb. So he gets a lot of blowback for stuff that isn't even in his purview, nor would I want it to be. But he certainly can throw a wrench in things. And you know what? He's not on the war train like Biden will be. Biden is on the war train. Biden wants those wars because he wants the advantage of the deep state and the advantages that he has in international companies, right? I guess I could name them, but there's several international companies. Gulftainer. Anyway, I don't want to say too much. A guy was just, because he started talking about that too much. But there's a lot of international companies where he's doing deals with Iran and China and so forth. And Trump knows about it. This is why Trump put sanctions on him. There's a lot of stuff in the background that we didn't realize that Trump was doing to kind of thwart their more international deals. So I just wanted to make mention of that too. You guys, we have such a great opportunity right now to wake people up and get them moving and get them understanding what's going on. And in your state, if you're under a mask mandate or a group gathering mandate like I am, it's horrific. I've got an insane governor. And what do? Well, you start waking people up and tell them to defy it. They do not have to go along with this nonsense. And you know what? Take the power away from them by not giving them the power. That's what you do. That's how you do it. We need a How to Stand for Freedom 101. So that'll probably be my next video. How to stand for freedom and all this garbage. What do you do? Because it might be uncomfortable. It might be uncomfortable and it might be hard, but who cares? I played this song today. I love this song, by the way. Listen to this.
Ignites a candle and makes
I love this. Go Light Your World, Chris Rice.
Carry your candle and run to the darkness. Take your candle and go light your world.
I love this song. You know why I love this song? Because it talks about taking your knowledge, the truth, who you are, your belief in God, and running into the darkness, not sitting in despair, not sitting there taking it, not sitting there saying, oh, everything's hitting me and I want back to normal. There is no normal again. There's no normal. There really wasn't one, but we were in the comfortable, not the normal. And you know what? This song is all about running into the darkness. You run in. You run in. You don't just sit and go, woe is to me. You run in. And when you run in, I think there's really, honestly, a lot of blessings for that. I truly do. And I think that we need to get our heads on straight here. We have a lot of fraud that's about to come out. We need to start really focusing on getting those messages out to people and having them understand what's going on, because the press is going to paint it as a conspiracy. And that's a travesty, because it's not. It's anything but. This is actual fraud. So, and I know it can be proven in court. And you know what? When you run out into that darkness and when you take this on, it's a whole nother momentum. It's like being down at halftime and coming back with a vengeance. We can do that as a nation, and we can do it with enough of us, because enough of us were in that Revolutionary War a long time ago, and enough of us made a difference, and it wasn't very much. So I'm telling you, we can do this if we understand what's at stake. I understand it. I know you get it too. But I just want you to have a little more faith in the process, a little bit more faith in God. You know, I made this observation, and it was this. Do you remember 2016 when you had all the people in the street that were crying, the combat boots and the pink hair and the tattoo? Anyway, pretty crowd. So pretty. Anyway, crying and screaming in the streets and acting like complete loony bins. Well, the reason that you see conservatives react to this situation where they're saying, I believe in God, I know that that can help. And because we have, we look to a power that's higher than the government. They don't. The government's it for them. So when the government falls apart and is lying and cheating and scandalous and horrid, they fall apart. They don't know what to do. That higher power is what gets us through this, because we know that there's something beyond government. And I just wanted to leave that with you, because there is something beyond government. Oh my gosh, if it was government, we'd all slit our wrists. I mean, give me a break. But we know what's beyond, and that this is much bigger than us. And so, you know what? Maybe that gets you through it. Maybe it helps you, but it certainly defines what's going on in America right now, because there's a lot of people posting about that right now, and they're finding their knees again, and they're getting on their knees, and they're actually praying for help for this nation. And that's what we need to do too, consistently right now. Thanks, you guys. Go to katedalleyradio.com and subscribe below, and then also get the rest of these videos where we talk about all of this in detail at katedalleyradio.com. Thanks, you guys. Really appreciate all of you.